What is going on, everybody? We have returned for another fiberglass video. Behind me, we have this Regal 22 something something sport, very large boat. We had to drop the tower to get it under the gantry in here. But for 22 feet, the boat's huge. We have a bunch of gel coat work on this. We'll show you that in a second. On the other side, it got scratched up pretty bad. This is an inspection boat that came in. And then we actually found a bunch of stress cracking. So hopefully if the guy approves it, we'll be doing some actual fiberglass work, which I don't believe I've shown, actually, like grinding out the gel, laying up new glass, making it pretty, and then spraying it with gel. So we're gonna be doing that on this boat. But before we get into that, we have something extremely exciting. So Stark Yacht Surface Technologies actually reached out to me and they sent some products down here for me to try. We'll run through a few of them. I believe they're most known for this one. This is their Blaze. So it's the hybrid heavy cut, so it's heavy cut and polish. So I'm extremely excited to use that. You guys know that I've been using some other compounds, some really expensive stuff, but we're gonna see how good this actually works on here. So if it is good, I'll recommend it. If not, I won't. Next up in the compounds, we have the Level R, which is the extremely heavy cut compound. That's another one I'm excited to use, but probably what I'm most excited for is this quicksand. So you guys know that I've been doing some extremely oxidized and faded boats. So I'm kind of hoping, I think I have one coming in that's really oxidized, but with the quicksand, it's a sanding replacement. So essentially, instead of sanding down to get all of the oxidation out, you buff it with this stuff and it'll pull it all up, and then you begin your regular buffing process with the heavy and with the polish, and it kind of saves you, because as you know, this isn't the biggest shop in the world, and before we get our new one that hopefully has some sort of ventilation, we don't want to get this so dusty because my landlord will kick my ass. So this could be huge if that works out, which I've seen some videos on it and they look extremely good. We also have the Elevate, which is the medium cut compound. And then we have all of their cleaning products. So over here we have the Salt Clean, we have the Hydrate RTU, which is the waterless wash. We have the Pure Clean, which is just the soap. We have a Mildew Clean, which is important here because we're cutting shrink wraps off of boats and they're getting a lot of mildew and stuff like that on them. We have the Venom down here, which is the water spot and rust remover, which I am very excited for because all of our boats get water spotted. Simple Clean, which is just a regular wash, and the Replenish over here, which is a spray sealant, and it's used for like a coating maintenance for like a ceramic coat, stuff like that. So we're gonna be using these products. I'll leave them linked below in the description. They sent these out to me for me to try, and yeah, I'm really excited to try them. So come along this way. This is the worst side of the boat. We have a bunch of scratches. These are kind of deep, but they should be able to be sanded out. Following down, we have some more scratches here. This one that goes down below. They're a little hard to see. This is a bad area where it must have been rubbing on the dock or something, but a lot of gouges in here. This is gonna be fun to sand because there's so many different angles, but for the most part, they're flat, so we should be okay. We have some other scratches here. We're not doing anything with the decals. These decals were like $1,000. So we're not gonna be messing with this. So these are gonna stay. But we have another nice scratch here. And then in the back on both corners, there's scratches, but this is chipped out pretty bad. So we're gonna be color matching to match this color, and then we're gonna fill that. The part that I need his approval on is down below. Hopefully you guys can see this, but obviously we have some air voids here where this gel's chipping out. But down in these corners, they're all stress cracked. So when you have stress cracks like that, the fiberglass below has obviously failed. So with the boat shifting, or you had some big girl standing on the swim platform and she cracked it.
I don't think we can leave that in. You could just say multiple family members or something like that.
Anyways, extra weight on here, the fiberglass let loose, so it cracked. So what he wanted was just the gel fixed, but I have to tell him that if you just redo the gel on that, the fiberglass is still cracked beneath, so it's gonna happen again. You're gonna have that crack come back. So the proper way to fix it, grind all of that area out, lay up new glass below it, ferret finish it, and then spray your gel on top of that. That's the only way to stop stress cracks from happening. Otherwise, they will always come back. We have the same cracks on the underside over here. So that would be over quote, so I need his approval on that. But other than that, beautiful boat. It's got the Volvo in it, real nice. We did some other work to it.
Yeah.
So we're also gonna do, we're gonna extend the brake hose so we can swing the tongue away. But before we get into that, what color is your Stark Yacht Detailing shirt? Let's get into it. What do you think we should use? So we're sanded. So we're sanded down the side of the boat. We can see all the sections that we did. We sanded with 1,000 grit, well, up to 1,000 grit, and that's where we're gonna stop. Where I've used shittier compounds, you wet sand at 1,200 and you don't have to buff it twice with the heavy. You can get away with once with 1,000 if you do a real good job, but we're gonna stop at 1,000 to see how good this stuff really is. The Blaze is the hybrid heavy cut. I kind of want to try this and then see if we even have to do anything else afterwards. Because if we can just get away with doing once and it pulls all the scratches out and leaves a perfect finish, that would be incredible. We're gonna save the quicksand for a different video. I'm gonna wait until I get a really oxidized boat in to use this because I want to see how good this stuff is. But yeah, because the Level R is the ultra heavy cut and the Elevate's a medium. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm gonna get the buffer out and get kind of everything set up, and I'll have Grant film. We'll do it real time. We'll probably do this front section with the Blaze and see what it comes out, and we'll see if we have any scratches, but from what I hear about this, we won't. All right, so we're gonna start on a flat spot that's gonna be real easy to see. I wanted to use the Blaze It, but pretty much reading the bottles, the Blaze It and the other heavy cut, these are all compounds that they sent me. They didn't send me any polishes. So we're gonna use the compound as our first cut, and then we're still gonna finish it the way we normally would. If they wanna send me some polishes, that would be sweet. We're gonna use the Elevate. This is the medium cut. We sanded this up to 1,000 grit, so the medium cut should be enough. We're gonna buff out this area. Grant sanded it, so if there's any scratches remaining, it was him. Gonna lube this up, put a decent amount on there. Let's spread it out. Spreads out real nice. I've been feeling them in my hands, and the other ones, you can tell they're really heavy cut compounds. This one's a nicer one, not as gritty, not as sandy. All the other ones, very nice. So you'll see those in a different video when we get an oxidized boat in to pull that out. But for now, let's buff this. All right, let's wipe it and then critique Grant's sanding. So just looking at this top area, it looks very nice. I mean, even with just the heavy compound, which you don't expect to have a polished waxed finish on it, it looks really nice. So I mean, you can't look at that. You can't even see where it is. So that does look very nice. Good reflection on it. There is an area down here where Mr. Spanky didn't sand, sanded a little light. Didn't want to push on it, but up at the top here, very, very nice. Well, I'm probably gonna buff down here again just to get some of those remaining scratches out. And then I'm gonna hit this whole section with the polish and we'll see what she looks like then. Actually, I'm gonna finish buffing the rest of the boat and then we'll polish. All right, so let's talk about what we used, what worked and what didn't. So walking down, obviously we had a huge section here, which now you can see a clear reflection of the wall. There was some very bad scratching in here, and we still have this to do in the back, which we're gonna do this in a second, but this was just one deep scratch. So looking at it this way, I mean, you guys can see how good that looks. So keep in mind, we're trying not to use the polish. I think I said that we were going to at one point. This has not been polished at all. So what worked for us with the sanding marks and some of the other scratches on the hull, we used the Level R, which is the extra heavy cut compound, and we followed it up with the Elevate, which is the medium cut compound. So looking this way, going all the way up the hull, and you can see our tape mark where there's some adhesive, but that and underneath the hull, it looks impeccable. Okay, so the three compounds that we used on the boat today, we started off with the Blaze. The blaze, I think I had a different expectation for. I kind of thought it was going to be more finishing, not the actual cut. This is a very nice compound. It cuts. It pulled like 600 grit scratches out like it's supposed to. It's not leaving that polish finish, which isn't to be expected. It doesn't say that it's a polish, it's a compound. The next thing we used was the level R. We kind of figured out that after sanding, we're using the level R to pull out all the scratches and stuff and get it prepped to use the Elevate, which was the medium cut compound that we used. The medium cut brought it all out. And keep in mind, this is just a medium cut. It's not even a polish, and we didn't polish any of that hull, and it came out looking that shiny. So if you can imagine, if you went the extra step and polished it, which Stark has polishing, which I kind of want to try now. I mean, you can imagine how good it would look after that and after being waxed and all that stuff. But those were the 3 that we used. We're going to do one more section in the back, and then that's going to be it for this section. We're going to be doing the fiberglass in the next section, assuming it gets approved. But yeah, we'll do real time since we figured out what kind of works for what we did in our situation. We're going to do that in the back. But using these today and seeing how aggressive the blaze is and that heavy compound, the level R, I can imagine that when we get an oxidized boat in, I wish I had it for that Chris Craft video that we had, or even that bayliner that we just did, but I can imagine that this is going to save so much time sanding because we won't have to sand. And we didn't even use the quicksand. I'm very excited for this.
400 grit on there.
Yeah, removes 400 grit sanding scratches. That's crazy. I want to see this rip up some oxidation. All right, so we're going to do the back end of the boat, and then I'm pretty sure that's going to be it. I need to make a phone call. All right, so huge shout out to Stark for sending all of this stuff out. We're gonna be using all the other products. We're gonna be testing out all the sprays and detailing stuff as well. Honestly, super impressed. So now that we got it figured out, obviously the side of the hull looks dialed. The guy's gonna be super happy. I'm really hoping that I get a super oxidized one, and I'm gonna start working on that because I'm extremely excited to use the blaze and the quicksand to rip out that oxidation. For now, today, this is gonna be the end of it. I don't think it'll be the end of the video, but it might be. We might do the fiberglass repairs in a separate video, depending on how long this one is. But yeah, it looks like we're gonna be able to start getting multiple videos up a week. If you guys are new here, we're gonna try doing, essentially, it's a week-long vlog of all of the boats that I work on that don't normally get featured on it. It's not like a big repair or something like that. So we'll have that video going out probably on Fridays, and then something like this, if it's a more in-depth repair that I actually want to talk about, we'll do a separate video. And kind of, if we have like 3 boats that all have their own problems that can have their own video, we'll have those videos and the weekly vlog. So if that's anything you guys are interested in, if you like watching boats get fixed, Gelcoat get polished, fiberglass get laid, make sure to subscribe down below. Only like 86% of you, no, 86% of you aren't subscribed. You should subscribe. Lots more coming, lots of boats to fix. It was warming up now, cooled off, but we're definitely picking up in terms of the schedule. It's getting a little full. So we're gonna do our best, keep the videos coming out, keep you guys happy, and keep my customers happy. All of this will be linked down below in the description. I'll have separate links for the actual compounds that we used, that being the Level R, which was the heavy compound, and the Elevate, which was the medium cut compound. I will put a link to the polish that I would have used if I had it here, and then I'll have a link to the Blaze It for the oxidation. If you guys are watching this with a super oxidized boat, make sure to stay tuned because I'll be using it in another video, but I will have a link to that, as well as Stark Yacht Surface Technologies altogether. Cool website, cool brand. They reached out to me and sent me all this stuff. So again, thank you to Stark. I really appreciate that. This is, I mean, it made buffing this really fun and it slicked it out. That being said, if you guys enjoyed, make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe. I'm saying this just in case this is the end of the video. If you guys want any of the ST Marine merch down below, it'll be in there. It'll say merch, bit.ly/bushfishing ST Marine if you guys want something buffed. If you have an extremely oxidized boat, if you have a black extremely oxidized boat and you guys want it buffed out, I will give you a discount specifically because I want to test these products. So if you go to stmarinewi.com and fill out the form and say that you have an oxidized boat and you're in Wisconsin, let's make it happen. Goodbye. Bye, Grant. Say goodbye. Bye. Okay, bye.